नमो नारायणाय। ओम नमो नारायणाय. Respected friends, good you are joining for the study of this Yoga Vaashishtha Maharamayana Sublime Grantha. Slowly we are entering into the groove and the ability to study by tuning to it. Definitely let us invoke consciously through prayers the grace of Sri Rama, Sri Vaashishtha, Sri Vishwamitra, Sri Valmiki, Vyasa, Vamadeva, Narada, Adi, that they give us ability to easily, effortlessly understand these topics and easily, effortlessly do the sadhana and quickly reach out to the destination. Yoga Vasishtha Maharamayana, 3rd Utpathi Prakaranam, 13th Swayambhu Utpathi VARNANAM SARGA we will conclude today and make a beginning of 14th SARGA. Start. Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः. ओम शांति शांति शांति. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो. ओम येरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वम्. ओम श्रीराम राम रामेति. ओम ब्रह्मानंदं परमसुखदं परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म भक्ति योग धर्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे वशिष्ठ विश्वामित्र वाल्मीकि वेद व्यास वामदेव नारदादि योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्राणाम् आचार्येभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां कृपया उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्म उपनिषद योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणोक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेनस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थं धर्म संस्थापकानां निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवद शिवकृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनरवाप्तितेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रुघ्न समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हिंदव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठा वाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्री योग वशिष्ठ रामचंद्र संवाद रूप श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्नं मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः. ओके. ओम यस्या यस्या वाक्यामृतपायिनां प्रतिपदं सत्यं सुधा नीरसा यद्वाक्यार्थविचारणादभिमतः स्वर्गोऽपि कारागृहम् यद्वाणी विशदात्मपूर्णमनसां तुच्छं जगत्तूलवत् तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे. यस्यार्षं प्रथिता जगत्त्रयहिता सा वेदमाता परा यश्चक्रे तपसा वशे सुरगणान् अन्यत् सिसृक्षुर्जगत् तं बोधाम्बुनिधिं तपस्वि मुकुटा अलङ्कारचिन्तामणिं विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहम्. श्रुत्या ब्रह्मैव रामः प्रकटितमहिमा येन तस्मै वसिष्ठः यः सीतां ब्रह्मविद्यामिव सदसि पुनः सत्यशुद्धां किलादात् यद्वाणी मोहमूलं शमयति जगद् आनन्दसन्दोहदोग्ध्री तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्री गुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नता स्मः पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्धिदीर्षुर्जनमरवर्तं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आवेश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरपि कलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये ॐ श्रीराम जय जय राम श्रीराम जय राम 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 जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम ॐ श्रीराम शरणं मम श्रीरामायण शरणं मम श्रीवसिष्ठ शरणं मम श्रीविश्वामित्र शरणं मम श्रीवाल्मीकि शरणं मम श्रीनारद शरणं मम श्रीव्यास शरणं मम श्रीसद्गुरु शरणं मम friends. Few more mantras are left. Go, slowly, steadily. What is said is ki the Brahman, reality, truth, Satchidananda, was, is, and ever. Right? Basic thought 1, 2. On that only, in this krama of Ativayika Deha, then the knowingness, then the objectified knowingness is Chitta, then from that the Buddhi, from that Mana, from that Tanmatras, then from them the Panchamahabhutas, their mutual combination, and the world of names and form which we all see. All of that is like a painter paints, like a person of Jadu, Indrajalika, does the Indrajala, or like a person of hallucination hallucinates, or a person who wants to make and tell a story tells, or like a movie, or the best example of a dream. And without any substantial matter in it. Therefore, it is not real. All appear kalpita. But that has to be on some substratum on that Brahman. See that this understanding by many times listening to these topics and contemplating, we should be able to get. That's called the Vedantic breakthrough. That we are able to comprehend, apprehend, understand the subtle beyond the gross and the subtlemost beyond subtle and causal. And without that substratum, all the gross subtle causal can never ever even exist. Therefore, that is always there. If that alone is always there, then these all be attentive with all their solid appearances, with all their solid anubhutis giving us. Yet they are not real at all. That thing 10 times told, 100 times told, 1000 times told, the impure gross buddhis, which are caught up in the gross, fail to understand. Got it? Like a child in a school. When the buddhi is very gross, he fails to understand the mathematics subject told physics, chemistry told. Uska buddhi manda hai. So too, our manda buddhi is immediately don't pierce through, penetrate through these subtle understandings. But as we expose continuously, as we even start contemplating, and as aligned to spirituality, thereby horror in our heart. Like the many other gross things in life, we can take as examples. Like a person, unrighteous, righteous. That unrighteous person never understands the beauty and meaning of righteousness for a long time. Whereas somebody who is so righteous, how it clicked to him that let me be dharmic, let me be honest, let me be not cheating others. अरे इसको समझ में आया उसको क्यों नहीं आया? Think that's called the subtle heart, the pure heart. How will it happen? You just keep trying, one day it will click. That's it. We are doing that only. Keeping on doing by God's grace, Shruti Mata's grace, even though they may feel angry. Yeah, you are leaving it, not leaving us. So many classes you are going on doing on that. Chal theek hai. Out of anger also the Guru or Shruti Mata or love compassion. They may say tathastu. Then that slowly the peeping into the subtle understanding starts happening. Then again it goes for some time. Again it comes and it stays for a little more time. Then we slowly feel like, okay, this is the understanding which I have to abide in, which I have to stay in, which I should not come out of. So that's how the elongation of lengthening of staying in the understanding grows. That the Brahman alone is reality. Every else, how much are realistic at appearing, but not real. These are the logics. है ना? These are the examples. These are the experiments and realizations on the contemplative seat. अब धीरे 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 होता रहता है वो एक बार शुरू हुआ ना और हम लगे रहेंगे तो that's how every ordinary samsari became the great saint and sage with brahmagnya. This is the way. Somehow out of millions and millions of jivas, we are given this opportunity. How much we utilize it, all that in our hands. Correct? Now yesterday, Narayana, we were seeing these portions, just to browse through these remaining few mantras. Okay? And wonderful it is. See, Anadyanubhavastu itham yotrasti avanikadike स्वप्नानुभूतं पृथ्व्यादि प्रबोधे यादृशं भवेत्. See, anadhi anubhavatu ittam. Yaha atra asti avanikadike. This continuously happening experience to all of us in the waking plane of this Stula Jagat, Pancha Mahabhutas. If you open your eyes and see all of them, भूतम निद्रा में रहते. आंख खोल कर देखो, there is आकाश, there is the wind, not seen but touched, there is a big mountain, there is a भूमाता. ये सारा ये अनुभव सबको हमेशा आता ही आ रहा है. देन स्वप्न अनुभूतम, इट इज लाइक स्वप्न. बी अटेंटिव. पृथ्वी आदि प्रबोधे यादृशम भवे. In swapna also, Prithvi Adi Anubhuti we got. But when we got Prabodha, wake up, where are all those, exactly the Srishti which we see in the Jagrat, like that only the Swapna Jagat appeared. When we wake up, kahan gaya sara? In the same way, through deep contemplation, when we wake up to that reality, this all appears to be the dream too. That's all. That's dream one. This is dream two. So, swapnanubhutam prithvyadi prabodhe yadrusham bhavet. So, swapna mein, whatever the prithvyadi anubhuti we got, when we wake up, what happens to them? Same happens when the reality is realized to the real appearing to be real, this waking world. Next, smrutaha savyoma matratma. See, sarvadaiva smrutam jagat. See, that ativahika purusha sutratma at the total level, the individual jiva, even at individual level, smrutahasa vyoma matratma, the pure consciousness with the thought only, there the Ishvara or Sutratma, here the jivas. Sarvadaiva smrutam jagat. Even the entire jagat is nothing but the smruta, means only a thought. And thought is what? Thought is nothing but the sense of otherness, that's it. That's it. And in that sense of otherness thought, any object comes, that thought becomes of that object. You know? Just like water. What is a wave? Sense of something as if other than the water. To that, then you give a name according to our own general discussion or general acceptance. We call one as bubble. We call another as ripple. We call another as wave. We call another as a tide. All of them are names given. To what? That particular waves. What are they? Water only taken as if something. वो water ही है. But the wave. So too, the pure consciousness में sense of otherness is thought, and whichever the shape that thought is, to that in our imagination, whatever the name is given, that becomes valid. You can feel that. What is that shape of a pot on a mud? It's a sense of otherness only, not real otherness. There's no other thing called as a pot shape other than the mud. But still, to that we give a name. We call it as pot. Think, thoda sa subtle hai. If you can catch it, done. That's what he says. The entire Jagat is Smrutam, thought only. The Jiva also Smrutam. The Sutratma also is Smrutam. Just a thought, not real. Then, Yatra Yatra Yatha Toye Dravatvam Nama Vidyate. See, just the same example we gave. Toye, the water. Dravatvam, the liquidness of the water, or the flow of the water, or the motion of the water, or waveness of the water. Are they two? Are there two things, water and wave? No. That's why in the Mandukya it was so beautifully discussed. Whole world is thought, the whole thought is conscious self. The conscious self felt to be something other appears as thought. Thought given a shape and name is called as the world. Gross or subtler. That doesn't make any difference. Whether it is gross or subtler. Now, see, tatra tatra tatha na anyaha sargosti paramatmani. See, tatra tatra yatra yatra yatha tu yatra vatvam nama vidyate tatra tatra tatha. Wherever you call it as waves, it never is at any moment different from, it is never any moment different from the water. In the same way, yat tatra tatra tatha na anyah sarga asti paramatma. See, in Paramatma, other than Paramatma, The creation named thing. Na anya asti, never asti only. Anya na asti only. Therefore, Srushti evam yam praudha sama. In this way, Srushti is nothing but the Sama Brahma only in its substratum. Sama eva to ayam sthitaha, the Paramatma only. The water below, alone on the surface, all appears to be the waves because of the sense of otherness created by the wind. So, wind of Maya or avidya, creating the sense of otherness in the ocean of consciousness, makes appear the world or worlds of the waves, etc. ये हमको वेदांत का बात पकड़ना है. करो कोशिश, मिलेगा एक दिन. Therefore, सृष्टिरिहि एवं इयं प्रौढ़ा न सम एव तो अयं स्थितः भाति एव एवं नाम ब्रह्मांडम व्योम आत्मा एव अति निर्मल. Therefore, vyoma atma means the conscious space, ati nirmalam, without any sense of otherness in it. That alone, Brahmandam Nama Bhati. And in the form of and in the name of the entire Brahmanda, that Ati Nirmala, one without second, Brahman alone appears. Therefore, Drishyam Evam Idam Shantam. Therefore, in its reality, because it is not there, therefore, the Drishyam is Shantam. So, Atma Nirmita Vibhramam. See, on that pure self, Nirmita means Kalpita Vibhramam, only a surprising appearance only. So, Atma Nirmita Vibhramam, Kalpita only. Like that actor with a particular role and dialogues. Just Kalpita on him and goes away. Again, you search that actor and those actions in that person, you won't find them. You will find the main person only, the hero, not the role played. In the same way, go to like the science. No, like the science means what the science does outside, same things the spirituality does inside. That what is the root of it? When they go, the basis of it, when they go into, they discover that Satchit only. So, if as per science, everything is atoms, then what is that which you see in the form of any of the objects? Whether the science says in this language or not. It is same, no? The atoms combined giving an appearance of this object. The threads combined giving the appearance of this cloth. Isn't it thread? Other than that, do we really give reality to, even in science, to any objects other than the atoms? Now go beyond atoms, beyond energy. It is pure, non-objectifiable Sat and Chit. Little more listen, little more contemplate, have little more interest, little faith, little more prayer to the divine. Let me understand it. Let me more gather your attention, concentration. ये सब करते करते वो धीरे धीरे पकड़ में आता है वेदांत. So bhati evam nama brahmandam vyoma atma eva ati nirmalam. Therefore, drishyam evam idam shantam. So atma nirmita vibramam. In the drishya, there is nothing but the same atma, which is beyond even drashta. Both drashta and drashya are vibrama, nirmita on the atma. Isn't it? For simple example, anything the world I experience as drishya, don't I see it in my own chitta? Can we experience anything without the chitta? Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, sukha, dukkha, labha, hani, all of them अनुभव चित्त में हो रही कि नहीं. फिर अनुभव करने वाला वो भी चित्त में ही हो रहा है, मी. Then who is the one who is there knowing every set of the experiencer and experienced, which are continuously changing? That is reality. On him, these are all conditional kalpita. Call the conditions as vasanas, call the conditions as samskaras, call the conditions as habits, call the conditions as moha, call the condition as avidya, call the condition as maya. ये सब शब्द सब क्या कह रहे हैं? They are saying that the pot mud is always mud, but made as pot, appearing as pot, not really created as pot. That the mud has forgotten or mud has got destroyed or disappeared. Ah, think about. Then, once it's kalpita, be attentive. Whether it is sthula or sukshma or mahastula, in the kalpita, then they have no value. Like in my dream, I have done the kalpana. A small squirrel dream came to me. In the dream, squirrel. Then in the dream, an elephant came. Isn't it? Now, once both are in the dream projected, is there any meaning to something big, something small? Once it is projected, like a cinema, once you know it's projected, actually there's no farak in the hero or villain. Both are illusion. This is a subtlety. Jada also I see, Chetana also I see in dream. In the dream also I see the gross and subtle. But both are in the waking mind's projections only. So too, in the pure consciousness, all of them are just project. We are holding on to the gross, giving it more importance. That's why that giving importance, conditioning us and not allowing us to accept the substratum, the reality. But मैं ये देख रहा हूँ ना, but मुझे अनुभव हो रहा है. Like that's ना. But you know, when I do the cheating, I get money in shortcut. You know, quickly I get ना. How can I give it up and I can I become honest? Isn't it? उसको वो वाला वो conditioning हो जाता है. Until at last, when he also gets cheated by 2-3 people, and that pain when he goes through, terrible. तब पता होता है. Next is see, beautiful this Paramatma Tattva, Niradharam. It is not an adhara to anything. Niradheyam. There is nothing depending on this Paramatma as a Jagat other than it. Advaitam cha. This Ekameva Advaya Paramatma only. Aikya Varjitam. It's only one without second. Advaitam only. Jagat samvidhi jatayam api jatam na kinchana. That's what. Jagat, the pure whole world, samviti, on that samvit, pure conscious Paramatma, jatayam api jatam na kinchana. Even though for the ordinary gross onlooker, the whole Jagat appears to be there, appears to be real, appears to be caused or created from the Paramatma. But yet, if you see the substratum in the Jagat, always there, same intact. In that way, when you analyze, na jatam api kinchana. So, from the Jagrat mind, the whole Swapna Jagat created as if giving all the experiences realistic as if. But when we wake up and see, never born only. That's the beauty. You know? The hotel is never created, yet it appears to be created, and you went to that hotel, ordered and had a wonderful food and paid the bill. Okay, you experienced it. The hotel you went, you sat there, waiter came, you gave the orders, then you brought the food. It was so fresh, so tasty, you were so happy. Then you give 10-15% tip to that person. Bill ho gaya 300, you just 345, 350 rupees you give, 55. And really, he was also happy. Please come here, sir, again and again. He said, why not? Such a good food. I'll come here only. In the dream, experience. Now, when you wake up and look back, it's only a smriti, no? A thought only. Was it there? If it is there, how can such a big hotel be in your small head? You know? Think. Hmm. This is the beauty. Niradharam, Niradeyam, Advaitam cha, Aikyavarjitam. Then Jagat Samvidhi Jatayam api Jatam na kinchan. That's it. Something created and yet not created means it only appears to have been created, but it's only appearance, not a creation. That which appears but not created called delusion or mithya. Okay? Then what is there ultimately? Param Akasham Ashunyam. Achameva Vyavasthitam. Parama Akasha, the supreme space, Ashunya means anything, nothing other than it. Acha means purer than the purest, Avasthitam. That Akasha here, Parama Akasha is Chidakasha. The pure, infinite, conscious space alone is there. Without anything subtle, causer, grosser, actually happening in it, actually coming out of it, actually created out of it. Wow. Look at this portion. Paramakasham ashunyam achameva vyasthitam. Therefore, sarva samsarata na asti. The entire Jagat itself is not there. Jiva is not there. How can this Jiva be then with his upadhis or for his upadhis in this Jagat of Rupa Nama create samsara by Ragadvesha and through karma phala and with Janma Marana? Okay? On the TV screen भी सारा जो appear ही होता है. When the hero is appearance, villain is appearance, their enmity is appearance, then where each one beating each other, all that samsara तो सिर्फ कल्पित है. That's how they say also, यार तू थोड़ा गुस्सा ज्यादा ही मारा यार, माफ करना यार, मैंने सोचा नहीं तो लग गया, तू मार मेरे को चाहिए तो. So they friendly they talk to each. This sentence is Sarvam Akasham Ashunyam Achameva Vyavasthitam. Therefore, Sarva Samsarata Nasti. Then what is there? Yadeva Tad Avasthitam. Yadeva. That Brahman alone is there in the beginning, in the end, in between what you are seeing as samsara, that also the Brahman seen with ignorance, seen with conditionings. Those ignorance and conditionings also don't have their own independent existence. Remove them and see yadeva tadavastitam. Therefore, na adheyam tatra, the pure Paramatma ke upar, he being an adhara, there is nothing called as adheyam tatra, na adhara. Brahman is neither the adhara nor the jagat is adheya, na drishyam, there is no seen world, na cha drashtuta, therefore there is no seer. है The seer with his upadhis is also projection on the conscious self. The seen with its all conditions, limitations, natures also is projected on the Brahman. And this varied projection of stulata, sukshmata, karanata, and in that various colors, forms, shapes, how come? That's the power of Maya, that it can project and picturize in front of you as if that projection is taken by you as real, just like today's graphic world. It's Vedanta is so easy to understand today's world of science and technology. How realistic the things they are. The artificial intelligence technology से तो You will see the things as more real than the real. In the same way, Adhisthana Brahma alone is real. Wow, beautiful. Then is Nadeyam Tatra Nadharo Nadrishyam Chadushtata. Wherefore, this slok mein Brahmandam Nasti na Brahma na cha Vaitandika Kochitu. Okay? Neither whole Brahmandas are there, nor the Brahma to each of the Brahmanda. Therefore, Nacha Vaitandika Kochitu. Even all these are Vitanda only. When you don't apprehend substratum with your sublime, pure intellect, when you visualize and have the drishti or darshana conditioned in your own preoccupations, in your own biasnesses, then you see this Jagat. Otherwise, there is no Brahmanda nor there is Brahma. Only Brahma Tattva alone is there. Now that's the goal we have to reach to. In that only, because everything is one Brahman, there is no other thing to limit our condition. That's called moksha. Now, one thought today, 2 minutes only we'll discuss is what we seek is the conditionless happiness, the limitless happiness. Good. But where we are ignorant is we seek it in the conditions and in the manyness. वो कभी भी नहीं मिलेगा. That's why everybody in this world seeks same thing, and in this world everybody is disappointed only because they won't get there. Again, I am repeating. What we seek is the infinite, unconditional happiness. And we are trying to seek it in the finite, conditional, projected world. बेसिकली आपको वो मिलना है तो इनफाइनाइट अनकंडीशनल अगर कोई वस्तु है तो उसी में मिलेगा आपको इनफाइनाइट अनकंडीशनल हैप्पीनेस एंड दैट इज द सेल्फ ओनली. And there is more subtle thought. The finite conditional, whatever the Jagat we are seeing, he is nothing but the projection on the Supreme Paramatma. And in that we are seeking the real Paramatma, whose nature is happiness. वो नहीं होता. So, Brahmandam nasti, Brahmaiva nasti, nacha Vaitandika kachitu, kvachit. This is how the Swayambhu Utpathi mein, it's all Kalpita. The Swayambhu, and from him the knowingness. Swayambhu first is what? Is only a contour, which is called as an Ativahika Deha. Within that, the knowingness, also projection. From there starts the Chitta, the Buddhi, the Mana. From the Mana, the Indriyas, the Prana Shaktis, and all the Tanmatras, the Panchamahabhutas. All of them are projection only on the reality. अब देखो इसको इतना वैल्यू देके 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 इतना रियल लगता है. Like everything in this world, a friend, इतना मेरा real friend है, जिगरी दोस्त है. There, because of 2 or 3 things, convenient things happened, you could do something coordinated. Imagine that ये मेरा जिगरी दोस्त है. पहले कहा था फिर वो ये एक दिन वो छोड़कर जाता है वो. Yeah, you only live sometime finding a better fellow. Then you ask, or somebody asks you after 20 years, यार कहाँ था रे वो तुम्हारा जिगरी दोस्त, उसको छोड़कर तू ना एक मिनट भी कहीं रहता नहीं था. You say which friend? You forget only. If he was real, he would have been there now. Never he can be. Therefore, that time when you thought he is my jigri dost, it was also imagination, projection, seen through some conditioning. Mental conditioning. That's it. Only example. So here also. Therefore, finally, 2-3 shlokas. Na jagannapi jagati shantameva akhilam sthitam. So, na jagat, there's the whole world totality. Na jagati, within the world. Any of the individual things, whatever you see, they are never there. Shantameva akhilam sthitam. All of that is the Shanta Brahman only. Like just below the surface of the ocean, the Shanta Jala alone is there. At one place called as only the surface, because of some wind which is sense of otherness, the waveness appeared on the ocean quarter. That's it. But पूरा नीचे तो पानी पानी है, waveless pure water. So too, न जगत नापि जगति शांतमेव अखिलम स्थित. Therefore, in the Vyavahara Dasha, the Ativahika Deha Sutratma Swayambhu, and from him the whole creation, and in that the variety of jivas, and he managing those jivas, giving them upadhis, telling them to do this or that, and if they do what they say, the rewards are given. If they don't do, then they are given punishment. All of them, whichever are there in the empirical world of Vyavahara, told in Shastras, and we go through. On the inquiry, in that absolute reality, none of them are there. Na jagannapi jagati shantameva akilam sthitam. Therefore, brahmaiva kachati swachham ittam atma atmana atmani. Kachati means appears. Swachham means the pure. Brahma means Brahman only. Atma atmana atmani. The Brahman himself, in himself only, by his own Maya Shakti, Kachati, appearing as all that without himself changing. And that Brahman you and I are. Therefore, Chitvat, Dravatvat, Salilam Iva Avartataya Atmani. That's what we already said. Salilam Avartataya. Water only in the form of the Avarta, the wave. See if you can catch the difference in water and wave. You understand the entire Vedanta. What is to be understood there? There is nothing called as the wave independent than water. Water only there in and through that waveness also. Then that what is the waveness? A kalpita akara, kalpita nama given to that akara. That's it. याद रखो वेव नामक कोई चीज पानी से अलग नहीं है. Only a रूपा नामा which are never there. Like the ornaments named, they don't exist independently other than gold. Gold only given a form and name. That when I say given a form and name, that form and name are kalpita. Kalpanas they are. What do you mean by kalpana, the form and name? Mean they don't exist independently. Kalpana means it doesn't exist. Don't think like that. There is some name, there is form that is kalpita to the mud. No, the name and form itself is kalpita. So, chitva dravatvat salilam iva avartataya atmani. On the pure self only. Like in the water, the waveness, the entire Jagat is only imaginary sense of otherness extended in gross subtle million forms, million names. Any example you take in the world. Only leather, but how many types of belts are made, bags are made, shoes are made. एक ही leather में इतना बना है. Only one steel. How many bartan are made? See that? If you can, in any of the example, get that breakthrough and understand that the so many things which are seen and utilized for various purposes with all their independent names are nothing but appearance on one common substratum, that particular material. It's steel if they are steel bartan. If you can get that breakthrough in the example, then you understand what the Vedantic masters are saying. व्यवहार में you have spoons, you have utensils, you have the ladles, you have the katori, you have the plates. व्यवहार में. But in paramarthikata, in reality, are these all there? Any one of them? Other than the substratum, the steel. This is the Vedanta. In the same way, other than the substratum, there is nothing called as Jiva Jagat Ishvara. Realize that substratum. This all Siddhanta, huh? With the Siddhanta knowledge a little gained and the faith in it, really when we Jiva Jagadishwar ko we keep away on the seat of meditation, then you will see the substratum. Then what is said is so clearly proved. But that so much of purity, stamina, introvertedness, consistency, wanting to know it, ये सारे चाहिए. और सत्संग सुनते सुनते और दुनिया में धक्का खाते खाते slowly the vairagya there, jignasa here, there is a chance for it to happen. And in so many unknown ways, the spiritual evolution happens, which we don't know. That's why we call it unknown. But there are some known ways. Let us know them and follow. And they are coming to the class, listening to the Vedanta, trying our best to understand with our intellect. These are some known things, authentic things. That's how the Shastras, and in the Shastra, the Guru is teaching disciples, disciples following Guru, they realize it. ये नो ये दूसरे क्या क्या तरीके से होता है हमको नहीं बता जो बताया वो करते जाओ the removal of the ignorance and delusion projected multitude of whole universe as if existing any time other than Brahman. Is there any pot existing any time other than the mud? What nonsense. See, when I give this example of mud pot for 200 days every day, you will understand it. That there is never a mud pot, reality is mud. Before the pot made, but after the pot broken, but when it's in the pot of form of pot also, inside pot, outside the pot, upar bhi, niche bhi, baएं bhi, दाएं bhi, all of that belongs to mud only. It's touch when you touch mud only. When you say the pot has got, let us say, 1 feet height or 2 feet height, that height belongs to whom? Not to the pot, the mud only. Let us say that pot is having 2 kg weight. Is that weight belongs to the pot or what? No, it belongs to mud only. Any parameters never belong to the pot because it never exists. Even the kimat also not to the pot, it's the mud only. Why do you say mud? Remove the mud. Take the pot. Remove the reality, take the jagat. सत्ता निकाल दो जगत से, जगत का पत्ता कट जाएगा. सत्ता निकाल दो तो. Therefore, चित्वात् द्रवत्वात् सलिलमिव आवर्ततया आत्मनि असत एव idam abhati and sat iva ya anubhuyate. These are the punchlines. Though it is never existing, it appears. Having appeared, it is giving us experience, and that experience is deluding us to take it as it is real, as if it is real. ये लाइन फिर से मैं 3 बार बोलूंगा, ध्यान से सुनो. असदेव इदम आभाति सद इव सदिव इह अनुभूयते. असदेव इदम आभाति सद इव इह अनुभूयते. असदेव इदम आभाति सदिवेह अनुभूयते. Idam, everything is asat only but abhati. After abhati, it is anubhute, abhuyate as if it is sat. When you realize the Sat, you know that yes, they all are Asat. Okay. Then we have 2 slokas here with which this chapter concludes. Vinashyatya santi devante swapne samaranam yatha अथवा स्वस्वरूपत्वाद सदैवेदम अनामयम. ये बातों को थोड़ा इजी करके भगवान आदिशंकरा tells us in his prakaranams like that of Viveka Chudamani etc. What is that? Vinashyati asat eva ante. Swapne swamaranam yatha. Like in Swapna, you are born, you have grown, you went through all the gamut of life and you died. When you wake up, both the Janma, growth, Marana, as much as they are all asat. In the same way, when to write means the Sat Brahman is experienced, na? That time all this appears to be asat only. Athava, this is another option. What is that? Athava saswarupatvat sat eva idam anamayam. Therefore, or the other option is the entire idam is nothing but my own self. That means what? There is no other than, there is no Jagat other than me, the Brahman, or the whole Jagat is me, the Brahman only. This either both experience of both is same. You call it this way or call it that way. Therefore, Brahma anyat bhati chet mithya yatha maru marichika. Sarvai sarvam hi etat Brahma. Sarvam hi etat. He is accepting that everything is there. But as what? Brahman. All steel bartan are real as the steel. Without the steel, they are never existing on their own. They are never there. Either दो है ही नहीं है और है तो स्टील ही उस रूप में अपने आप इंडिपेंडेंट नहीं है. Both things he gave. अथवा स्वस्वरूपत्वात् सद एव इदम अनामयम. Otherwise, everything is me only. There is nothing other than me, or everything is me. Both are same. The way of putting is little different. That's it. Therefore, akhanditam anadi anantam jnana matrambara udaram. See, adi madhyantarahita akhanda pure conscious being in the womb of that only the entire Rupanama are kalpita. So this Jnanamatra Ambara Udara means the pure conscious space in its womb Udara only. This whole thing are there. So Akhandita Anadi Ananta Jnanamatra Ambara Udara. In that only the whole thing. Right? Therefore, Akashe eva parame pratama parajeshaha nityam swayam kachati sunyataya namoya samoyaha sahi adivayika vapurnat bhutarupi prutyaditena nadaste tana jagat. So, the whole Swayambhu himself is not real, it's only Adivayika. When he himself is Adivayika, the creation which is made by him, how can he be real? Like in the dream, I became a pot maker, I made pots. So myself I am a projection in the dream when I wake up from that standpoint. What about the pots made by me? Are they real or what? है कि नहीं? आपको सपने में शादी हो गई, बच्चे हो गए, जागृत में आए तो दैट सपना बंदा हिमसेल्फ इज अनरियल. हाउ कैन देयर बी वाइफ एंड चिल्ड्रन और हस्बैंड चिल्ड्रन? Same way, the Swayambhu himself is Ativayika, unreal. How come the creation made by him be real? And drill this thought more and more, entertain this more and more, become qualified to contemplate on this. Get that withdrawal from the world secretly, silently, within, without showing off anything outside and living outside only a normal life of dharma, and drop all the biasnesses towards the world of ragadesha, because they drag our mind's attention to that, and that creates every time the rajoguna in the mind, and with the rajoguna mana one cannot contemplate on substrate. Like a scientist with his mind disturbed because of his superiors or subordinates cannot focus on his investigation, isn't it? He cannot be. लड़ाई होता है मानो, वो करेगा नहीं काम. कोई भी बंदा, even in your own house, your own servant if is fighting with you cook or the other cook से, तो बनाएगा नहीं खाना ठीक तरह. When the mind is disturbed, you can't contemplate. So therefore, just feel in this world nothing to lose, nothing to gain, nothing is mine, nothing is not mine. The lava, hani, jaya, parajaya, sab exactly same thing. Bhagavan Krishna said morning in both the slokas, one, samatvam yoga uchyate, two, yoga karma sukha. Samatvam, there is nothing in this world to be disturbed about. With that pause, when you sit for meditation and inquire these things, every day attempt में थोड़ा थोड़ा. Like a huge cinema you want to take out. So every day little story in your peaceful mind you can make. Or a big grantha you have to write. So every day like this, 4.5 months he took. Daily थोड़ा लिखते हैं. So to daily little of contemplation, understanding slowly happens. If we try it this way, all that is not mentioned here, we're just telling how to understand this sublime text like Yoga Vaashishtha Ramayana and the Vedanta through them. These two slokas, little 10 minutes I'll touch. Then we go to the chanting and study of 14th chapter. It's called Brahma Pratipadanam. Therefore, the Brahman alone is there. How to do the Pratipadana of the Brahman alone, nothing other than him, that will be good. From that standpoint, there is no Utpatti, there is no Sthiti, there is no Upashama also. So the Utpatti, Sthiti, Upashama Prakaranas explain to us the Utpatti, Sthiti and Upashama only to say that they were never there. Very vichitra it is. Because they were never there from the absolute standpoint. आज हम महाराज शंकर भगवान का ग्रंथ पढ़ते हैं.